Libra, how you doing? So I keep picking up making little to no sense, or making no sense out of AdSense, or making no sense for AdSense, or like it doesn't make any sense, or I can't put a sentence together. Like I can't seem to speak, can't seem to say anything. You don't give me time to speak, you don't give me time to say anything. It makes no sense, or it makes no what? It makes no sense. Sensey, someone that sells sprays and stuff that doesn't make any sense. I don't know, but it's like I'm also hearing though. I was hearing homeless, like I'm homeless, I'm jobless or penniless or penny pinching. It's like trying to make lemon out of lemonade or something like that. But like I just can't put a sentence together to come up with anything that's channeled for you, Libra. If I'm honest, something to do with someone's channel, something to do with YouTube channel or some kind of channel, and something to do with sense or AdSense. And it makes no sense, but no ads. Like I'm not going to put any ads on. An add-on, something to do with Adam and Eve, something to do with Gemini or Capricorn 6. But like I'm going to put an add-on, I'm going to put an ad on everything. Really, I'm going to put an advert on everything. An advert. Someone's advertising things. I don't know what this is to do with ads, adverts, Adam, Eve, Steve, but Adam and Eve. Doesn't make any sense. Or Evie, the name Eve. But like, man, I'm so confused with your energy because I can't figure out anything else, so I don't think I'm going to be doing this long. It's kind of like it's over before it began kind of energy. Like it's over and then it began and then it ended. Like it started and then it ended. We got back together, then we broke up. We got back together, then we broke up. Then it didn't make any sense. You said something that didn't make any sense. It didn't make any money. Didn't make any sense to me. You don't mean anything to me. I'm just interested in money. All I want. Well, I'm hearing I'm only with you for the money. I'm only in it for the money, and I'm only in it for the money, and I'm only in it to win it. And if you don't have it, then I don't want you. Is what I'm hearing. Cool, that's a little bit nasty. Who's that? Like, I don't know. It's like I'm only in it to win it. Like, I just want to win, I want to win, I want to win, and I'll do anything in order to win. I mean, is this a court case or something like that, Libra? But like, it's like, I only want you for a short period of time, and then once I've finished with you, then I don't want you. And then I want you for a short period of time, I talk to you, and then I don't talk to you, and then I do talk to you, and then I don't talk to you. And then we're not talking, and then we are talking, and then we're together, then we're not together, then we're not talking, and then it doesn't make any fucking sense, and then you're with me and then you're not with me, and then you've just got such energies of south node, north node. It's kind of like this push pull, like two, like Libra, 2 of cups. I've got loads of 2 of cups. I've got this 2 of cups, that 2 of cups, this 2, those 2, this 2, that 2. That doesn't make any sense. It's a bit like Noah's Ark. And it's like, and then they all come in 2 by 2, and then when you come in, you leave, and then you come in, and then you go, and then you walk out, and then you don't really pay any attention to me. You don't talk to me. You don't want me. And then you do want me, and then you don't want me, and then you do want me, and then you don't. It's kind of like, what on earth? I cannot. Earth sign. So do Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But like, I don't know, a scenario that is so confusing, like so confusing, that it's kind of like, I can't put words to what your messages are. Because it feels like break up, make up, break up, make up, break up, make up, talk, then not talk, then talk, then not talk. And then make money, then no money, and then make sense out of an illusion. And it's like, well, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together, and then really just coming up with 58, and then that not really making sense either. And then metaphysically, I'm lost with my head in complete and utter space and time and illusion. That doesn't make sense either, and nothing really makes any, nothing really comes to anything. It's all I can really put together. Like, I don't know. I mean, are you dealing with narcissism and control like most people? Are you dealing with your karmic energy? But like, well, that's your north and south. That's like you're polar opposite. Someone's either bipolar and they don't make sense, or someone's speaking and saying something and that doesn't make sense. Or like, I don't know, like it doesn't make sense. It's like inadvertently changing things. It's like 1 minute it's this way, the next minute it's that way. Like a Jekyll and Hyde type sort of thing. Or I don't know, like 1 minute you're okay and then the next minute you're not. And then 1 minute you're okay and the next minute that we're not okay. In a partnership, relationship, business deal, transaction, like it was okay for 1 minute, then it isn't okay. And then what, you're alright? Yeah, no, I'm fine. Are you? Yeah, no, are you sure? Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, no, someone's questioning someone's reality. So have you watched the video of Ascension? where it was around fight or flight. I don't want to go over it again, but it's around tension and arguing. And it's like you can never make sense out of an argument. That's why I think a lot of you keep trying to avoid someone, but they keep coming back like Peter and Paul, and you argue and then you don't, and you try to get through, and the energy settles down, and before you know it, you've hit the tower, you've gone into another argument, you've butted heads, and you've clashed like the Titans, and like a Taurus Sagittarius energy. And like we've like clashed like the Titans, we spoke, we didn't agree, we disagreed on everything, and as soon as we disagree, we then learn to agree that we're not going to do this anymore, but then you do, and then you don't, and then, man, what on earth is it? I mean, is this right for you? I don't know, because I can't pick up on any kind of straight storyline other than metaphysical warfare, spiritual warfare, confusion, fighting, like, don't know. Like, well, I'm picking up a lot of nines, like a lot of nine energies, like purgatory, fighting, can't get out, can't get away, in contracts that I can't get out of, like somebody tells you, okay, you can sign a contract, but you've got to sign it for like 3 years. You're like, what? I've got to be on this for 3 years? Like, I'm just signed up for something, and like the paperwork comes through and you're like, man, this doesn't, like a shitload of numbers that just get thrown at you. I mean, all the spiritual people there, they're like, oh, listen, 2 and 2 and 4, and then their 4, there adds up to my 8, and the 4, 6, 9, and that's probably me telling you about numerology, maybe. But like, I don't know, like someone just hands you like a book of numbers and you're looking at it and you're like, okay, so, I mean, is this tax? Like you do tax, or a taxi company, or something to do with a Cancerian, or like a 7, and you can't work me out. You won't. But like, hold on, I mean, if that is true, Libra, I'm just going to have to state this very quickly. If that is true, don't let my numerology video confuse you, okay? Really don't let that confuse you. That's really just for the people that really do understand around the numbers fitting up, okay? But if you do want to watch it, you can, but it is below. It is really just around numerology, okay? But it's kind of like that you get handed a book or a paper, right? And actually that came up in another reading. The last one I did, Virgo, is around paper and books, right? And like, say, like you're on the books and you work for somebody, and it's a company, and you get handed like a payslip, and your money just doesn't work out, like someone's shortchanging somebody. Or like, you'll kind of like look at a book and they give you like loads of numbers, say like your tax comes in, and like they give you like a big docket, and you look at it and you're like, I don't get it, like I don't get why all of these numbers are like here, like why are they, what do they mean, what do these numbers represent, I don't know what they mean. And it's kind of like, I don't know, something around numbers and figures, but the only thing I can think that is like something that will be like mathematics, and it's like tax, like income tax. And it's kind of like you're looking at a book and it's just full of numbers, but you're like, it's just full of numbers, like I don't understand it, like I don't know how to read numbers, right? Or I don't know how to read, again. So it's something like, I don't know, someone could be trying to copy something that I do, for instance, and they try it and they can't do it, right? Or, I don't know why I'm picking up on a copycat, something around Leo, something like that. I don't know, like I'm trying to figure out all of these numbers, but I can't put them together and they don't work out. Or I'm trying to put this clue together and it doesn't work out because I'm actually more confused than what I was in the first place, right? Say like, you've entered the twilight zone, you're very confused, something happens and you end up more confused than what you were before, right? Which is around a Scorpio. So you kind of, or an Aries Scorpio, kind of like that, right? And it's like, well, to be honest, this is extremely confusing. Like I'm putting these numbers together, but they don't really make any sense out of the numbers, right? So the only thing I can think of is like, I don't know, say for instance that you're with a company or something like that and they just throw a load of things. This came up in the reading of Leo. Who did I do before you? Virgo, very big. And that was, yes, you was in that reading here, okay? So if you haven't watched that reading, I can't make you join Patron, but it was very big in that. And it's the same kind of thing. It's to do with around like a company, they have like loads of money and loads of business and loads of everything else. And they kind of like give you like, okay, here's your money, here's your job, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be on this salary, blah, blah, blah. Or Sal, the name Sal. but we're going to give you like all of these things and all of this number and all of this stuff, but they don't like it. Don't like your wages don't add up. Like it just you had this before. The sense that makes none, the adding up that doesn't add up, and it's like it's like a company that is offering a pay packet of a deal of like you're just about to sign a contract, and you do, and they tell you, okay, over the period of a year, you're going to get paid X amounts of pounds over the year extended, right? The extended, or something to do with someone's extended. But like, okay, you're just about to like sign a contract for work, and we want you to sign it, and this is going to be your contract for a whole year. This will be your contract for a whole year, and we're going to offer you something for a whole year, and do all of this, but it doesn't add up. Now, I don't know why I'm picking up on people that are doing like Patron. This is why I won't do it. Patron also offers you where you can offer people something and they pay for a year for something. They pay for a year, right? Well, in order to sign yourself up for that, you have to make sure that you are fit and healthy and do that for a whole year for people, because if they're paying for a whole year, you have to keep that and you lock yourself into a contract of a whole year. So you have to stand by your word and you have to stick by what it is, because if you do this for a whole year, that's why I won't do the yearly part. Okay, so it's something around like, you know, like you'd sign a contract for a whole year of something, but it doesn't add up to the same amount. Like you get paid, right? And they say, okay, we want you to sign on the dotted line for this job that you've got coming up for a year. And your role is this for the year, right? And you'll get paid at the end of it. What you would have earned roughly is this number, right? So we'll throw a number at you, and at the end of the year, this is what you will have earned through the year. So this can also represent your tax, because it's that kind of thing, right? But like, this is what we'll pay you at the end of the year. This is what we will pay you, right? And then what you've kind of got is this energy of where it's like, but through this year of the confusion is where if you've looked at last year, you may not have earned what you was expected to earn. And then a boss says, oh no, that's because we deducted so on and so on and so forth and so on and so on and so forth. We didn't tell you that, but that's actually written in the contract. You're like, we should have read this. You should have read the small print. You're like, we didn't give me a small print. I didn't really understand numbers. I'm not like, you know, I don't understand about tax. I don't understand about what I'm deducted and what I'm not deducted. It's like you do. That's why I pretty much put all my trust into you with all of this money and all of this, like, you know, I trusted you. And then it's kind of like, oh, great, yeah, we've got your trust. Brilliant, right? Great. So through the year, you're going to earn this amount of money. Great. The year ends, right? And then you look at it and you're kind of like, right, hold on a minute. So I'm supposed to have earned this amount of money, what you said, but it didn't actually work out that way. Because, but you had a day off back in 1964 or something. And you're like, yeah, well, I might have had 2 or 3. Yeah, well, we deducted that. We didn't tell you. We deducted the time that you had off. You wasn't really working during that time anyway, because we didn't have any work. So I couldn't pay you for that. And then you're kind of like, yeah, but hold on. I thought my contract said that I'm guaranteed to earn this much per year. And you're like, yeah, you are. Well, that isn't what I got. No, because you wasn't working. Or because we didn't have any work and the coronavirus was around and we wasn't working during that time. So basically, we've thrown up a load of smoke and mirrors and then took a load of money out of this thing and then changed it. This is currency. This was to do with like Gencoin and Bitcoin. So it came up in, I think, Leo reading. And you was in that. You was. It was Capricorn Leo. Capricorn Leo, and if you'd watch the extended, you would see where I was giving the analogy of the thing that's on that I watched a while ago called Starting Up, and it was around a company that pretty much overtook a company, and it was their idea. It was their idea, and someone stole their idea, and it was all around this Bitcoin thing, but it was actually called Gencoin, right? So Jen, Julian, Jason, Jasmine, but it was called Gencoin, right? And she wrote this code, right? She typed out this code. And she wrote this code that came up with where it was uncrackable, right? It was an uncrackable code, and it was called Gencoin, right? So she had this company, but this bigger company that said, look, we're going to like invest all our money into you. We're going to invest all our money into you, right? And then, so look at the story, however this is going to relate with you, Libra, but it is so big in the Leo reading, right? We're going to invest all of this into you to take over your company and your corporation. And then, like, basically what they did is they put her under pressure to make a decision. Right? They put her under a pressure like a two to make a decision and says, you know, we're going to offer you all of this, and they give her some contracts and says, okay, there's the paperwork, and that pretty much just says blah blah blah. She didn't understand. She didn't understand about degrees law and all that. She was just great at computer programming, right? So basically, she kind of like had all this blah 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 and whatnot. This company then come in and offered her to get her 7 years, so Cancerian or 7. And it took like 7 years, she said in this thing, that it took her to form this code, right, of this computer. It took 7 years, right? So she did all of this for 7 years, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then this company, like, came in and swooped in with all of their, like, top lawyers and everything else, coaching her into, like, believing that it was all going to be great and brilliant and that she was going to be a joint partner. It wasn't, we're going to invest and give you that money and blah, 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 and it's going to be yours. We're going to invest that into you, okay, but we're going to be also partners, right? So partner. So we're going to be partners, right? And then when she did do that, pretty much after about 2 or 3 days, they brought in this secret company person that then came up as, I forget, like a ghost energy, but I don't know what they represented it at. But they came in and took over part of the company as part owner, which gave them the legal right to kick this person out who actually had the company. So the person that put in the 7-year lot of work for everything that they did, and God knows what else that she did, they told her that the people that work for her, they don't want us anymore. Like, you're not a part of this group, you're not a part of this anymore. And they said, look, we're going to put all of this money into you, right? All of this time into you and effort into you. But you've got to sign this now, because if you don't, we're going to go to Bitcoin and we're going to go and do all of that, right? So I don't know where this story's going, but it seems a lot like the other reading, right? So we're going to put all of this time, all of this effort into you, but we need you to sign it now, because if you don't sign it now, we're going to be gone and we're going to go to another company, right? So it's kind of that, right? This is business and money for some reason, business and money or something, right? Of a channel message of however it was relating to you, Libra, because I didn't have anything for you, and that's why it isn't really making sense. Now it kind of is. So it's kind of like they got her to sign this thing, but they told her 2 partners are not wanted anymore. We can't bring them aboard, right? So under pressure, she signed it, gave it over to them, pretty much backstabbed 2 friends, right? Went off, like backstabbed the 2 friends, went off, the company turned sour, the milk turned sour, something around Leo possible, but the milk turned sour, didn't quite work out the way it did, then came back crawling back to the 2 friends to make up with them, and the film goes on. But basically this company then takes over GenCoin, and they start saying that it was their idea. They were actually, were they Russian or German? Has anybody watched this before? Because it's really relating to some sort of metaphysical story. But she was under contract of, like, this person was actually being manipulated. You got a lot of manipulation around business and around throwing up smoke and mirrors, right, basically, of trying to get people to sign dockets and trying to get people to sign things, and they don't actually know, they don't understand. Well, that can also be like tax, where it all comes through and you're kind of like, man, this doesn't, like, I don't know about facts and figures, I don't know about money. But the disturbing thing is that just came out through the Virgo reading was a boss. This was a boss. And it was somebody that throws up that much confusion of pretty much looking for, okay, you don't have qualifications, you don't really know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have you because you don't, right? And we'll get you on job. We'll offer you all of this nice stuff and blah, blah, blah. And we'll offer you all of that. And then once you've signed the contract, we'll then start discussing what it is that you do in your job and how much that you will get. But even if you ask, you're told a certain amount, but at the end of the year, it doesn't quite work out the way that you thought that it was going to. Which means that a boss then starts to, like, go through the year and then say, okay, well, you didn't work here, you didn't do that, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Not really looking at all of the benefits that you gave to somebody, but basically looking at all of the bad qualities of what you didn't do. So it's kind of like good, bad, not doing good, not bad, kind of like a lot of confusion. And I don't know, whatever sets this energy off is always stemmed from one energy of karma, right? So it's things that don't mix well. So it's something to do with around Sagittarius also. and it doesn't mix well. Your energy, whatever this be, whether it be a partnership, whether it be an argument, it doesn't mix well. It doesn't work well. You don't work well together, which means that you're always better off working for yourself. Doing things your own way is working for yourself, right? Even when you do that, you get conflict from other people as well. Because if it comes down to a design of belief, people are not always going to believe in what you believe in, right? So you've got this very, very, very big, confused energy here of a window wiper around a Cancerian or a 7 energy, right? Or around a car company or a taxi company or a car. It's a bit like a car salesman, right? You go and buy a car, right? And they say, oh man, look at this car, it's brilliant, blah, 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 it's excellent, it's shiny, it's everything else, it's brilliant, it's fantastic, you're going to love it, come in the office, great, right, and we just need you to sign this, right, and you're looking at it, you're thinking, hold on a minute, I owe this much money for the car, that much, I don't get it, it's all right, just sign it. Okay, sign it, right, there you go, okay, right, just sign this one too, okay, right, just sign this too, okay, sign this too. Unknowing to consumer, they have no idea what they're buying, right? Which means, hold on a minute, I've just signed all of this stuff. Yeah, you've got a car. Brilliant. So I drive off the forecourt and something goes wrong with it, right? And you're like, oh no, don't look at us. You bought the car off us. Don't look at us. This is a car salesman, right? Don't look at us. We're not to blame for that. You signed the docket. Once you've signed it, you can't come back on us to say that that's our fault. You should have read it in the first place. And you're like, well, I don't understand that. And you're like, no, of course you don't. We do. We know what we're doing. We're trying to fuck you up, right? So we're basically getting you to sign things and whatnot, but you don't know what you're in for because you don't understand all of this paperwork. And you're like, no, I don't. That's why I'm putting all of my trust into you to know what you're doing. But you don't know what you're doing. So we're trusting someone that doesn't know what they're doing. It's kind of like, yeah, but we do know what we're doing. And you don't. No, that's why. And you've kind of got this, I don't know, around not really trusting something, or Justin, but not really trust in something. And you're like, yeah, but I don't trust the energy. It's not, I don't trust you. It's really what it is. It's like, I don't trust you with this. I don't trust you with this information. I don't trust you with, I don't know, whatever it is. I did trust you once before, but now I don't. You backstabbed me. You pretty much grasped me up to the police. You grasped me up. It's like I did trust you at one point, but now I don't. And what was for you, or who was for you at one point, they no longer are anymore because they now apparently, or you, don't trust them. And it's a huge trust issue around something, around when everything was really good, it was all, sign this, do this, blah, 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 everything's brilliant. And then all of a sudden, a lot of confusion, and now the trust is gone. I don't trust you anymore now. How on earth am I supposed to trust you now? Because of something that you've done, right? So I don't know if this is coming up in your relationship or job or both, and there's a lot of twos up in the air, right? But I'm definitely hearing that the shit has hit the fan, or something to do with someone's fan-based mail, or fan. But Roger Waters, but Roger, but yeah, you've got this confusion around somebody that's, this can even be a tax office, it can, because I can go into the tax office and they'll just say, oh, brilliant, okay, done all that, sign here, sign in. I'm looking at it and thinking, yeah, no, brilliant, you paid that much, blah, 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 that much. Trust me, I'm like, okay, sign there you go. Right. So it feels like that you're putting a lot of trust into something. Now, it doesn't have to be the tax. This message could be something to do with around business and the job that you're at, the job that you're doing. That's if you're working for someone, because if you're working for yourself, that's relating to around tax. But if you're physically working for somebody, there is something around your money and your wages possibly not adding up. Because what this is coming up is like I said, it's kind of like someone that does a contract, and they're kind of like, but the contract that I signed was for so much, but you changed that amount through the year. It's kind of like somebody that promises you amount of money per year, right? And then at the end of the year, they changed your wages through the year. And you're like, but hold on a minute, bruv. At the beginning of the year, you told me that I was going to be on this amount of money. That was what you told me at the beginning of the year, that I'm on this amount of money. But through the year, you changed my contract, you put me somewhere else and give me a lesser amount of money, or you give me a bit more money, but now at the end of the year, you've now deducted the amount of money because you're now now I don't trust you as a boss. And you've got somebody that's basically working the books as a boss, working the books for their own need, for their own financial gain, which means that we can work out the books for whatever we like, because if our employees don't understand all of these numbers, we can basically just fuck them over and not give them that amount, because we did. They keep saying that, Libra. I'm sorry, but these are your messages. Throughout the year, you've given a contract of money, right? And it's there, right? It's your nest of money. You think, okay, I can survive on this amount this year, right? Because that's how much I'm going to be getting. Even if, like, each week that you get paid or month, you look at your pay packet, is it the same? Is it always been the same amount of money? Because it feels like a company of, like, BT, for instance, like your telephone bill, right? But British Telephone. But basically, like, you look at BT and they're huge companies, right? They can like add on, say, an extra charge of like something, and you're like, yeah, but we're charging you for that, and you're like, yeah, but what? You hold on, you're adding on a load of charges now. So is this police or something to do with that? And you're adding on a load of charges. You know, this could be a court thing, and somebody's gone to court for it, and they add a load of charges on. You're like, hold on, but I didn't do that. You know, no, you did, because no, I didn't do that. You've just added on a load of charges, right? So they're holding someone accountable for these charges, right? So it feels like also someone charges extra tax on something, like they put extra tax on, and you're like, yeah, but you oh man, there's a company here that's untrustworthy, an untrustworthy company. Because it feels like I said, like BT, for instance, they can, like a telephone, they can throw an extra contract, an extra bit of money on there, and because you end up paying loads of bills, right? You pay loads of bills, electric, gas, blah, 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 this bill, that bill, that bill, this bill, that bill. You can get people that kind of like large companies that just add on like 2 pence, right, as a charge. They charge you for like an extra 2 or 3 pence or 4 pence or something like that. They charge you extra. Throughout the whole year, that's quite a bit of money, right? So as a corporation of a large one, they can do this with everybody that's under their umbrella, right? They can do this with everybody that's under their umbrella. So say even if it's 5 pence or $1 or whatever, sometimes you're kind of like, oh, I missed that, I didn't get that bit. And you're like, no, of course you didn't. But we're doing this to multiple people. We're doing this to loads of people because we have loads of people. So we only really have to just add on a small amount, and we make shitloads by a small amount, right? I mean, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's kind of like a business, but I just don't know if anybody's getting ripped off through this, right? I don't know if anybody's getting ripped off. Because it's kind of like also like consumers that say, okay, you can buy this, right? I get this all the time when it's around my music, right? You can buy this, but we're giving you an offer, right? It's really, say, £600, right? Someone's writing money off. I don't know if that's good or bad, because you can, if you're taxing and you work for yourself, you can do that, right? But for some reason I'm picking up like a company, and they come at you and they're kind of like, look, it was 600 quid, it was, but you could just have it for like 199, but you have to have it within this week, right? Now that may not have been, like, they may not have cost them £600 in order to make that. They can just make you buy it because you think, man, that's a great offer. That's like it was 600, but it isn't anymore. They've just knocked a load of money off and offered me it for very cheap. So I'm going to buy it, right? So I don't know if anybody's getting in debt here, or like, I don't know, because like when you're taxed, you're doing tax, you would do this same kind of thing anyway, but you would have to be self-employed really for that to really work, you know. Because like for me, for instance, when I do my tax, you know, I make sure that I keep all of my tickets, all of my receipts and everything, and I log them all in and blah, 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 and I do it as legit as I can, right? So through electronical stuff and things that I do and have and whatnot, it's, you know, so it's kind of like tickets and tax and like receipts and all of these kind of things. But it's kind of like it's really coming up to crunch time of, I don't know if this is what this is relating to. Because it's relating to like a lot of trust, right? A lot of trust. Faith. Putting full faith into something. I don't really know what on earth this is. Because it could be taxes are raised. Like raising taxes or raising Arizona. Or like child support and stuff like that. You know. Because it doesn't matter. Because even when things are cheap. Like you can accumulate buying loads of things that are cheap. And you're like, whoa, I just looked at, you know, and like all of the things that were really cheap now are like really expensive. Right? Because it can be, you know, it is like for me, everything that you guys don't see is really expensive. Like things like encryption for my computer and stuff like that, and the Avast, and then the clean up computer thing, and then like the music like Spotify and all that kind of thing, and then like iCloud and stuff like that for like extra space on certain things. All of those little things, they're kind of like, you know, all of that. Well, giving that to a tax company is kind of like, you know, but it's kind of like that. Like, you know, you've got a load of little things, but the little things also are adding up to quite a lot of things, right? So I don't know what this is really for a lot of you here. I don't know. That's a message. Believe it or not, Libra. How you doing? So let's have a look at your partner. If you're in partnership, but we'll also look at external energies as well. But I'll be able to do that through the cards. But for a start, we basically just look at your partner. But because you're partnered up with loads of different people in life, as friends also, still the same kind of energy, right? But let's have a look at Libra's partner and see how they're thinking and feeling and what they're going through. Two of Cups, confused. Metaphysical connection for a lot of you. Like very confused, don't really know, right? Or your partner is. I mean, if you're in a third party, that's because one party has a Two of Cups already. So if you're partnered up with an energy that's really confusing the hell out of you and God knows what else, and you know that this person is kind of like playing a game, it might be because you have the metaphysical connection and they have someone else. You know, that's if you're going through that. Because I am looking at your partner and they have a Two of Cups. But they have that with you being a two. You see, I always see Libras a lot forming all of these energies of two, right? So like you make a bond, you make a pact, and then you go back on it and break it, right? And if you break a bond and a pack of something, or a pack of wolves, but if you make a pact and you break a bond, then basically you break a karmic thing, but you go into another one, and then another one, and then another one, and another one, and then karma might not be so great on other people on the other end of it, because you break your karmic bond by being a two. Right, so you break your word and your promise, right? So you always end up feeling as if you're having to keep a secret, right? Because of a bond and a promise of loyalty that you stick to around a Virgo energy. But because of that, you always feel like that you are, or this person does, that it's hard to get through to because it's like a broken connection, the two. It's like a broken record, you know. Let's see Libra's partner. Ten of Cups, so you got Three of Cups basically. You kind of got maybe a Piscean energy, but I mean, like I said, we're looking at your partner. They love their Two of Cups energy. They love the well, they don't. You know, who loves a Two of Cups unless you're with them, right? Let's see. Show me Libra's partner. The Truth. The Five of Wands. What on earth is it? Well, it's very meaningless stuff, that's what I'm saying. For some of this, it might seem like because I think, I didn't say this right at the beginning, but it was kind of like making a mountain out of a molehill. That was it, the name Mole or Adrian. but making a mountain out of a molehill, making a bigger scene of what it really is, right? There's a lot to do with like all these minor things that seem to be like quite major for somebody, right? Because if you are doing those energies of what I was channeling, saying 1 minute we're together, the next minute we're not, we're broke up, but then the magnet of the two brings you back together, but then you argue, and they bring you back together as two, and they bring you back together as polar. That is a two. It's bipolar energy, and also north and south node. So not yours, but theirs as well, like of the polar opposite. So you always find opposites attract, 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. I'm still at the beginning of the same thing. So you go forward, you get back together, you break up, you argue, or you meet another person and then you end up having a prediction of a man or a woman always being the same way, because they get a lot of attention through 2 of Cups, they meet someone else, but that's a string of failed attempts. So if you're in partnership with a person constantly now, it's the same as what I channeled. You get back together, you start talking, you get on together, you tell each other that you love each other, or just kind of spend some time with each other. You end up talking, but then when you start talking, you start fighting, right? And then you fight, and then you get back together, and then you fight, and then you get back together, and then you fight, and then you get back together. It's kind of like this, well, exactly what I channeled. That's because that was probably a message from your partner. Is definitely if your partner's a Libra also, or got Libra in their chart, or is a life path or a healing year number 2, you'll find that you're constantly being flushed out. So, you know, it's like I'm flush 1 minute and I got some money, and then the next minute I'm not flush. And, you know, because flush means, you know, like I've got some readies. And it feels like that 1 minute we're very flush and everything's very good, and then the next minute we're not very flush and then it's not. Or someone is extremely pale all the time. But like 1 minute I'm flush, the next minute I'm not flush. The 1 minute I'm on a lucky streak and then I'm not. You know, it's kind of like that. It's like that everything seems to go okay and then it doesn't. 1 minute we're talking, the next minute we're not. 1 minute we're talking, then we're not. Then I'm in a 5. And I always seem to find myself caught right in the middle of a fight. And then we get back together, or I don't. I meet someone new, and the same thing happens with a new person, that we end up fighting or bickering over an energy that could be of an uncommittal energy of Libra being flirty, which means that, oh, it's okay, I'm not really serious about the relationship, I'm already in one. You're like, what do you mean you're already in one? It's like, what are you flirting with me for? I'm not. It's like, yeah, well, I'm attracted to you. You might be, and I kind of am you, but I am a 2. So I'm attracting in loads of 2s of Cups all over the place, but I can't commit to you because I'm in a commitment with somebody that I fight with. And I have to see that through first. So a flirting energy of 2 can be like, well, I'm kind of like out there playing the scene, right? I'm kind of behind the scenes of a 2 of the High Priestess. I'm kind of like hiding the fact that I may have another 2 and someone that I'm interested in. Or an ultimatum is also a number 2. That it could be coming from you to your partner of why this is a 3. Here, 10 and 1, or 2 and 1. But like, I'll give you an ultimatum. You know, I can have someone else if I want. You know, you're not just the only thing in life. I've got someone else. I've got this, I've got that, I've got this other person as well. So you want to make yourself feel lucky that you're with me, because I could quite go off of Sid down the street if I wanted to. And the ultimatums can start coming out. And then your partner gets very confused because of an ultimatum that is given here. Which means that 1 minute you were for me and everything else was Rosie and Jim and it was all great, and then all of a sudden it isn't and you've got someone else? That was quick. Yeah, well, you know, you know. So, like, no, I don't know. No, I don't. I'm afraid not. So you got this Piscean energy here of the Hangman, and it's like, I'm afraid so. It's like, no, I'm afraid not. It's like, I don't think so. You know, so... Because it feels like this energy of someone coming crawling between their legs here, asking to get back, and then the other person says, no, I'm afraid not. No, I don't want to go back into this 5 of Wands. I really don't want to get involved back into all that again. So it's kind of like promoting a business or something, or like someone that's looking for work. It's kind of like, you know, can you come back to work? Polar is also 2. Can you come back and work for us? And you know, I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, can you come back to work for us, because we just need you for a moment. I just need to call you back into the office. Right, I just need to call you up in order to ask you to come back. Yeah, well, that's fly away Peter, fly away Paul, fly away Peter, fly away Paul, come back Peter, come back Paul. Right, it's repetitive. So it's like 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're not. Yeah, well, you sacked me. Now you want me back? Or like I did leave and now I left, but I want you back because we're now under demand and we're under pressure now because we need you again. You know, yeah, but you're fucking using me, ain't you? It's like you wanted me 1 minute and then you don't, and now you do and now you don't. You're using me. So if this is a partnership of love, your partner is extremely confused about being used, right, and abused. Or if this is coming across as a job, right, and you find yourself in this circumstance or externally this happens, it's kind of like 1 minute you want me, the next minute you don't want me. Like I worked for you before, but this didn't really work out before. And then I came back and worked for you and that didn't work before either. But now you want me because things are not working out because you've got like, you know, your workload is picking up and like all these clients and all of these people that you've got and everything else is also great, but now you need my help. But you fucking ripped me off before, you told me no. Yeah, well we don't now, we need you again. You know, geez. It's like, do you or don't you? Like, you know, you either want to work here or you don't want to work here. And it's like, well I did work here before, but the channeled messages happened before, right? So if that's work, that's that kind of thing. It's kind of like you might always find yourself being called into the office for something, right? Or late at night, something like that, and I have to work extra hours for my money, you know, and I'm always seem to be called back in, and every time I get into work is there conflict and everything else. Or like it's very stressful. But I'm looking at external energies, but I'm also looking at your partner. So your partner is coming across as extremely confused of what the hell it is that you want, Libra, if you've got one. And if you haven't, and even if you've got, say, a plaything, they're losing interest. They're losing interest. They do after a while. Right. Because it seems as if it's not serious. Like, as if, like, you think that it's not serious because of the 2 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. It's like, well, I'm not really taking it very serious. It's kind of like, well, fuck no, I am. I'm on the other end of that. I took that seriously. It's like, oh, really? I didn't really take that serious. It's like, well, I did. And you're like, well, what? Sagittarius, Taurus energy as well. But like, no, it's okay, bruv. It's not. It's like, no, it isn't okay. You might be not serious about a relationship, but I am. You're confusing the shit out of me. What do you want? It's kind of like, yeah, but you're a plaything. So, I don't know. You're just there for my amusement of a 2. Right? 2 of Cups. Here, yeah, see? 2 again. I'm hiding a secret that I may have another 2, or my ultimatum is that I have a few. 99, 100. 1, 2, miss a few, 99, 100. Oh, missed that, oh, did you? Yeah, no, it's all right. We just surrounded you full of numbers. It's like, sign it, and you're like, oh, I missed that number. It's like, of course you did. Right? Because well, you hid that from you. You don't know what goes on behind the company. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. You're not actually in my mind. I'm in my own mind. Right? So you got people that kind of like you. Well, I don't get your mind, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't trust you. How am I supposed to know how to trust you when you inadvertently do or say things? Right here, which can be like ultimatums, but it can be like, I feel like you're hiding another 2 of Cups, and then being questioned the fact that you flirt with someone, and then your partner's kind of like, you're not supposed to flirt with other people while you're with me. Oh, it's fine, it's okay, there's nothing in it. All right. No. No, like, you're not supposed to flaunt yourself with other people. I mean, if you see yourself, if this is true, sorry, but someone's kind of like saying that isn't really right. Whichever way. Because like I said, if you're the Libra, right, and this is happening to you, that's happening to you as a 2, right? It's happening where you might end up meeting a person that's extremely flirty, and you're kind of like, well, that isn't fair, because now I've actually found someone that I like, and that I want, that I would settle down with, but they won't settle down with me. Why is that? Because of karma, of what you may have done to another person. So you look at a person and think, oh no, it's alright, you're just a plaything for a little while until I find someone that's really serious. Right? Whatever it is that you do to a soul gets done back. Right? So Dunkirk. Motherless child. Something to do with a child and a motherless child or a fatherless child. Because it was Richie Havens. He actually done a song called Dunkirk. But or Kurt Gardner, but like yeah, Well, I've been waiting for something to happen for a week or a month or a year. And the head and the headlights and the sound of the crowd in my ear. Anyway, what's this Ten of Cups been about? Yeah, child. Motherless child or fatherless child. This could be an ex. Could be some of you that have popped out loads of kids all over the place and you constantly, like, get your ex keep coming back wanting to talk to you because you have a child. And then you're in another relationship as well, but that really doesn't go anywhere and that's kind of not so serious. And then you get this person that constantly attracts themselves to Libra. It's because you are a Two of Cups. That's why, right? So you probably always question that you're not trusted. In anything that you may not be trusted, people might question your trust. And if not, and you always question someone else's trust, it's because of the two. It's because of the two. Ace of Swords. That's what I'm getting for you guys. Capricorn. Oh, it just gets even more. Even more. What is that 6 for? Because it's very light but very weird, strange, dark energy of like confusion. The Devil. 2. Again, somebody can never, ever, ever make up their mind who they're with. It's kind of like, I'm with you. You're with us, I'm with you, you're with us, now you're not. You're with us, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, then you're in, then you're out, then you're with us, but then you're not. You're in us, you're with us, you're not with us, you're in us, you're out. It's confusing the shit out of people here. It is. Because things have been going on behind the scenes of tit for tat energies of people probably talking smack and shit. Here. This was in these two cards were in a reading a while back. Here. It's kind of like they come in 2 by 2 and then they leave 2 by 2. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's such a confusing energy. Well, that's what external people are thinking here. Sorry, Libra, to be the bearer of news, but people on the external are confused by this energy. Like in life, they're confused by this energy. It can be 1 minute you're okay and the next minute you're fucking not okay. And then the 1 minute that you want me and then the next minute you don't want me. But you need me for this, but then you don't need me for that, and you want me and then you don't want me and then you do want me. Like for me, looking at this, I would be like, well, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. You know, because it would. I mean, I'm not saying specifically picking on you. I'm just trying to give you the truth of the external energies here of like not really trusting the person. What's this 5 of Wands for? The High Priestess, the Empress, a mum and child. I mean, is it a third party energy because of metaphysics and it doesn't work out, or because someone is with child and they have a child but they also have like a piece on the side, which is here, Meg Ryan. Right, they have a piece on the side. Like uncommittal energy, like they don't commit with a person, they just kind of like set up loads of like 2 of Cups energies, but they're kind of like non-committal because they have like, because this is a mistress, this could be a mistress. They have focus of argument with another person, which means that somebody can have beef with another woman or man, and because they are, it confuses the energy of the 2 of Cups because their energy gets frustrated and pissed off because they say that this is the karmic energy, this is my opposition. Right, this is my component of energy that I don't get on with because of the 3. It's the piece on the side of the cream that doesn't fucking mix with the milk. Right, so is Meg Ryan. I don't want my cream on the pecan pie. I want it on the side because it melts and everything else. It's my karmic piece. Right, the piece of the puzzle that I miss is the fact that there's probably a mistress here as well. Right. So if you're with a guy that isn't very serious and they're constantly like cheating and going off and doing other things, is because the energy of the mistress. Right? They have a secret society, or a secret clique, or a secret, which is here. A secret karmic partner that they never tell that they are their soulmate. Which means for ages and ages and ages, a Libra energy maybe of a 2 can have a soulmate, but they never admit to a person that they are their soulmate. And they deny it and deny it and deny it because it's a Libra energy. Right? So say, Libra, if you have a couple of people and one of them is really interested in you, but you're with someone, you're like, no, I've got to stick my contract out. I have got to be with this person. I am not going to leave them. I'm going to flirt with another person, but I am not serious about leaving them. I'm just going to flirt and tease and get what I want, but then not really be serious about actually committing to the person I want. Then you can end up getting in a bind between the mistress and the mister and the Capricorn energy, of then putting yourself that much in a bind that the person you want doesn't want you, but the person behind did or does, right? And you just get in these like complete energies of like, well, it's unfair because the person I really want to be with, I can't be with because they're with someone else, and I don't really want to be doing with Joe Bloggs down there, right? So I'm going to keep focusing on the person that doesn't want me when I do have someone here. So it's just kind of like a side piece. But unfortunately, if you're being trapped like this and this is your partner, then this 3 here is a side piece, right? It's a side interest, it's a side line also. Like I have a job, but I also have a sideline of something else that I have going as well that brings me money. Or I have something else that brings me what I want, right? Which can be an empress. I get what I want when I want and it comes towards me, energy here. You've got a very strange dynamic here, Libra. Well, I mean, this is external, confusion, a side piece probably, a side job, like I have 2 jobs or 3 jobs, and I have like energy that I can get more out of one than the other, or I have a sugar daddy and I get money out of him, but really what I want is this golden piece of the buzzer of what I can get out of him. So this can even represent anything in life. I get what I want out of them, and I'm going to take that, but then I'm going to go over there and get what I want over the 5 of Wands and the Pisces energy, or the 3. I'm going to cause conflict here. I want things from them, but they piss me off, right? Because that's the karmic energy. You shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be over there. You should be over here. You should, right? You shouldn't be going out. You shouldn't be doing all of this, right? The karmic energy of where someone feels as if, yeah, well, that's the karmic. That's the person you're not supposed to be going to see or do or be with. You're supposed to be here. But the energy is so confusing, like it doesn't make any sense. Because that 5 of Wands and the 3 there can be, like I said, a karmic piece on the side. And everybody will just start listening, yeah, it's the karmics. When some people believe that you're not. Right? You can't call somebody the karmic because everybody is karmic. Everybody has karma. The karmics don't exist. It's a tarot card reader that made up, well, what can I do to gain subscribers? I'll look at Twin Flame, right? I will look at karmics, right? But you are the karmic energy. Everybody has karma. Nobody is exempt from it. And I can assure you, focusing your energy on another person, saying that they are the karmic, but it always comes back to you of confusion, is because you're looking at blame of another person being in your energy, right? And that's where you just constantly end up at a 2. Back to square one, not really getting anywhere because of the karmics, right? When you are. Okay. So let's see what Libra's got coming up for June. Libra. Hey, June 3, third party. If you're in one. I mean, you've got to be in that, surely. You've got to be in that dynamic there. Because it's a drama triangle. It's a scapegoat, victim, aggressor. It doesn't matter which form it comes in, right? It doesn't matter whether that be a child or a mum or a father or a stepfather or mother. A lot of people will miss the energy because they'll think, oh no, a tarot reading is all about my partner. It's a love reading. It's not. Tarot is about a life reading, right? It's what I read from is the soul group energy is that you never get out of a drama triangle. There's always something. School, contracts, drawn up. You need to sign it. You go to school, Piscean energy, 3. Right, you go to karmic lesson, karmic school, you go through the same thing again, right? Draw you into the energy of school, right? Let's see. Libra for June. See, again, the High Priestess, somebody's hiding another person or a dynamic. They're hiding a dynamic that they have with someone. It means that I have a personal problem with somebody. I'm not saying about it, but I have a personal beef and a personal problem with that 3, which is a mother, a Piscean energy, but I have a personal attack against the karmic energy. I have something personal going on in my head that is a problem with that piece on the side that is in my way. That can be anybody or anything. Stephen King, Steve, me also, or Lion King, or Leo. But like, I've always got a problem with that thing over there. That thing doesn't get on well with me. It doesn't mix well, that thing, right? Because it doesn't. I've got a problem with that thing over there, right? Which is the piece on the side, which is an energy you can't control. So because I can't control it, it's actually throwing me out of balance because of that thing I'm concentrating on that much that I don't like. That all that's really doing is annoying myself because I am focused on the negativity of hate. Because I am, and I'm concentrated on that much of finding out what it is that I hate. This is why I say to people that are on my channel, some people fucking hate me, but they can constantly watch and torment themselves just to think that they're tormenting me, but all they're really doing is just tormenting themselves. Right? So I can't stop that. Right? So like I said, the energy of what you've got is someone that torments someone because they don't like that piece on the side. They don't like that piece that's up there. You know, because you're up there and you think you're all so high and mighty and you're so good and you're so brilliant, because you are, I don't like you. Right? I don't like you up there because you have everything. Right? So it's kind of this energy of this thing, they keep saying, the thing. I don't like the thing. Which is, like I said, it might be a piece on the side. It could be a karmic energy. I don't like that karmic thing. Like, I don't like you. So somebody here is inadvertently holding it in, but getting wound up by still being contracted to it, and still thinking, why am I still doing it, but I don't know I'm doing it. I'm just doing it secretly, but winding myself up, kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. Is the energy of 3 here. You're locked into a triangle of doom to see what the length of person that is meant to find out what goes on behind this. Because if it isn't ever spoke about or told, it's karmically sorted out. Right? It's karmically sorted out. So it means that everybody will get a piece of pie at the end of it, right? When it's sliced and diced up by karma. A person does not dish out karma. A person. Hatred and everything else is not dished out by a person. It's dished out by the truth. Right? The truth is dished out by karma. Because karma knows. Karma knows what goes on behind the scenes even if you don't. It goes on in the manifestation of one's head. What has been going on behind the scenes of what people may not know is later on karmically sorted out. But not if you are still hating on an energy of a third party of saying, it's because of that karmic, it's because of that, and I'm just sitting around waiting to find out what happens to that bitch or what happens to her. I want harm to come to that person, right? No. Because that means that you haven't learned your lesson yet in order to be at peace, right? To be at peace, to be relaxed with the energy of trust and physical trust in your spirit. Which means that if I don't trust my spirit, then I don't trust myself, and I don't trust the energy of karma for me to be able to say anything without proof. So you've got the proof in the pudding always comes out at the end of the tunnel. The light always happens and shines at the end of the tunnel when the energy of karma has said, okay, we know what you've been doing behind the scenes of what started all of this off. And the person that started off the domino train is the person that ends up getting the karmic energy, right? So then they draw more energy in, right? Because I can't work out for the life of me, the life of Brian, someone that's Jewish, or the name Brian, or Leo, but like I'm definitely hearing, the only reason I say Leo is because I know somebody that's called Brian that is a Leo, so okay, but yeah, I keep hearing that there is something here around, for a lot of you, this is just not speaking about something, not talking about it and not admitting the truth. I can't tell the truth, because if I do, I'll show myself up by admitting the truth. I can't admit that because I will lose my pride. I will lose things if I drop my ego. If I ever really admit the truth of what started all of this off, I'll lose things. I'll lose subscribers, I'll lose fucking faith, I will lose children, whatever, you know, but I will lose things if I admit things, which means that I could have been lying for quite some time and not been able to admit it, and the moment I do, society won't see me the way they did before, because I'm actually being honest, right? Because I'm actually being honest. And that's where people would hate me, because I'm honest, right? I'm upfront and honest with whatever it is that I hear, I just say. Whatever it is that is in the cards and the story that I end up hearing and seeing is what I say, right? Not a lot of people like that. They don't, right? So they have a disagreement. So you get a karmic energy, people that try to stop people from doing what they want here. Right? Especially in an energy of someone that already knows. Because the all-seeing eye of the High Priestess can already have a feeling and a sensation that someone started this off in the first place. Right. So the better the devil you know, sometimes it's what you don't hear. So you've got Aquarius energy, so you've got 8, which is kind of a Aquarius, also Leo energy. So if you watch the Leo energy, and this card came up, or wherever this card came up, it doesn't matter, I don't want to go into it too much. But again here you've kind of got this where there's a secret society and a secret clique that is formed with, like, I'm following my dreams but I'm not really telling people what my plan is. It's kind of like I've got a plan, right, and it's there and I know what that is, but I can't tell you. So, you know, at some point some kind of plans have to be executed as you get stuck in the cycle again. Aquarius means a plan of future, because it also means karmic energy, right? So it's like a plan of future. I have to have a plan, and if I've got one to leave, I'm not telling my husband or my wife that I'm planning on leaving, right? Because I don't want to tell people that I'm planning on leaving work. I don't want to tell people that I'm, say, married in a controlling environment and I don't know if they're cheating, I'm cheating, or I don't feel happy in all of these twos all the time. It makes me feel imbalanced. I'm not really happy here, right? So because I'm not, what I'm not planning on doing, if I have another person in mind, I'm making a plan to leave, but I am actually not physically telling my husband or wife that I'm about to leave, right here. That's what I'm kind of picking up. Is that I have a plan to do that, but I'm not telling you that I'm doing that. But if that's just a plan that is thought about but not executed, you're going to go back into that energy where that past energy will be your future again, right? Because you'll go back in time like Marty McFly. You'll go around in this 3 for as goddamn as long as you want. If you have plans in life, Libra, you have to execute them to see if they work. If you have a plan and then always think about doing it and make a plan and then back out, you never know what you're going to get, right? So in order to make a decision, you have to stand by your word and stand by your decision and stand by your man to be an energy of trustworthy, right? Because like I said, if this is anything to do with contract, you have to be trusted. You have to be trusted government. You have to be a trusted government. But you have to be a trusted icon in life. You know, a president or anything like that of any company is an icon. That is all they are, is an icon. They are told what to do by money. Right? So, you know, if you sign yourself up to this contract of what I picked up before, channeled wise, right, is that, you know, you sign yourself up for something here, that if your plan is to sign this with these people, and that's happened before and again and again and again and again, Jen, with a Cancerian or a Sagittarian or Aquarian, if that's happened before, that shit will soon happen again. I guarantee you that shit will soon happen again, because you'll just go back into this 3 state, right? Back into the state, go back home, back to square one. Because even though this 3 is here, it was a 2, and it came from God knows how many 2s, right? So it's kind of like an ultimatum. You choose. You choose. It's up to you. But you're under pressure and you're under time, because I need to know within a day or 2. Right? I need you to sign a contract, and I need you to sign an agreement. I'm going to need to know within a day or 2. Or a day. Or you haven't got long to think about it. Just do it. Right? But there's this plan that seems to be here. But some of you have got this dream that you have. And you have like a dream that you want to do something, but you're just a dreamer. Dreamer, but like you're just a dreamer, right? Which means that you dream up a scheme to do, but you don't do it. You're not a doer, you're more of a dreamer, right? Sorry, but that's what I'm picking up. That somebody dreams up a plan of action, and they dream it up, and they're kind of like, okay, I'm manifesting a dream, but I don't execute my manifestation. That's the whole point of manifesting, is that if you have a dream and a goal to go for, you have to start to manifest it and see what you want, and then go for it. But some people in life, they're more of a dreamer and a schemer, but not a goer for, right? So some people in life, they sit back with a dream, but they don't never really execute their full potential of a dream, right? Which you can't. So it's kind of like stuck between a dream and a hard place, right? So, I don't know. Or like you are doing your dream, but it doesn't quite work out the way you want it to. Which means it's a dream job, but it still isn't really enough, right? It still doesn't work out enough. Because that can be a high priestess. Because I am picking up Virgo energies of purgatory also. Anyway, that's your reading so far, Libra. Sorry, it's a little bit bitty, but I can't really pick up a storyline. Because I don't know who this is that you're not speaking to, and then speaking to, and then not speaking to, or doing and then not doing, and then going around in this pattern of 3, of being locked into this contract of a triangle, and about to basically commit you. Well, what? I don't know why I just heard commit something. I did also hear I did also hear commit a felony. I'm just about to commit a felony. Or I'm just about to hit you. Someone's worried that someone's in a violent relationship here. Someone gets basically told to stay because of violence. Because this is worried about being kicked out, but told to stay. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I know you've got things that you want to do for yourself, but you will never be good at that. You will never live without me. You will never be able to be here without me. You wouldn't be anything without me. You would never have this amount of success if it wasn't for me here. So you would never really be who you think you want to be, because you're not. You're supposed to be here with me, and you will. Right? It's kind of like this very strange energy of like a violent behaviour of someone basically forcing someone to stay because of threats. Because of threats. But that can also be a promise. A promise and a threat. They're meaningless. I promise you I will. I'm threatening you. I promise you if you do this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I promise I won't. Yeah, and then the threats come. And then the promises come. And then the threats come, and then the apologies come. And you go through the same thing. Anyway, so Libra, that's what I've got for you so far. If you want to join, you can. It's on the first tier and also the full access bundle on Patreon. You can find all links provided below and a video that explains it all if you haven't joined before. Okay, but after that is where everything then goes to the full access bundle after the month end, because these are early. So that's where you get everything when it goes on the full access bundle, but it does explain it in the video. Personal readings, everything else is in the show more section. Thanks very much, Libra. I'll hopefully see you over on Patreon.